Hi everybody, Kyle from Kyle Tech here. I'm really excited to be making my first video because, well, one, I really like smartphones, and two, every time a new phone comes out, people always ask me, should I be getting this? So if you're watching, here it is. The star of tonight's show is the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Oh, here it is. You can do cool things like this. Alright, before we get too crazy, here's a very quick spec rundown. Inside we have a Snapdragon 888, which is the same processor as every other high-end Android phone this year. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of internal storage, no SD card, which is kind of a bummer. We have a 10 megapixel external selfie shooter, 3 12 megapixel main cameras. We have wide, ultra wide, and telephoto with optical image stabilization, so your pictures will be more crisp, especially at night. We have the under the display internal selfie camera, one of the first of its kind. It's probably only good for video calls and the quick, selfie, which is fine. We have new this year. We have IPX8 water resistance. This is a big step up. So that means you can submerge the phone under about 1.5 meters of water for about 30 minutes. You'll get a lot of peace of mind when it's raining outside, so you won't feel like your expensive phone is going to get shorted out. Unfortunately, no dust resistance, but being able to bring the water resistance in with the hinge is big, so honestly, dust resistance probably isn't far off. We have a 4,400 milliamp hour battery, which will last you about all day. Slightly less if the larger display is open, so that'll cover pretty much everyone needs. The main two stars of the spec show. First, we have the cover display, which is 6.2 inches. And inside, we have our 7.6 inch internal display. Now, both rock out at about 120 hertz refresh rate. So your games, movies, scrolling is going to be, well, buttery smooth. Now onto some of the cool stuff that I think helps make this phone worth anything, honestly. So Samsung is building this as the ultimate productivity device. Before we talk about the two main productivity features, in my opinion, we're going to show something cool with the camera. So because you have two displays, you can use it quickly to take better selfies by using the external camera. Or if you're taking a picture of your friend, family member, whoever, right, they'll see a preview of it and they'll be able to give you some directions. So let's just look at that real quick. So open the camera app. As you can see here, top right corner of the screen, press this button. Now if you can see in the camera, you get a little bit of a preview here. Super useful, right? I like it. Anyways, next up we have the S Pen. That's another productivity feature. Brand new this year, so let's check that out. So Samsung mentioned that they put a digitizer under each display and wrote an algorithm which helps keep track of where the pen is at each time, especially across this gap because, they didn't put a digitizer there. So let's go to notes. We're going to open this up. We're going to write something here like this. Works pretty nice, right? So, quickly about the S Pen. We have the S Pen Fold Edition, which Samsung made especially for this. As you can see, this is like a rubber tip. It is nicer to this still pretty fragile plastic OLED display, which is cool. And nice because, again, you don't want to damage your expensive phone, right? So now quickly we'll check out this. You can pretty much open apps, literally any other app in split screen mode. Super good for productivity. So let's check that out. So you open an app, you go to the app switcher, long press on this, open in split screen view. We're gonna open Chrome, and here you go. And you can do this with, as I said, you can do this with anything. So you can do it with Zoom and S Notes. You can watch a video and look up stuff on the internet. You can Google Maps while you're talking to someone, you know, literally whatever you want. So now I'm going to give you like some brief recommendations based on my about a week's worth of use of this thing. I like it. It's pretty cool for the most part, but there are some things that kind of feel awkward and unfinished. So like, for example, this cover screen, like it's kind of only good for displaying information, right? Why would you want to try to text or anything on this super narrow screen? Like if you do this, like it looks super narrow and you're gonna fat finger literally everything. But if you open up the display, and let's check that out again real quick. You know? Like you have all of this extra space here. Pretty nice, right? So that's one awkward thing. It kind of feels like it's a couple software updates short from both Samsung and app developers to really tighten up that experience. So once it gets there, I think it'll be better. I've used this at work for like some video calls and whatnot. So I can see the potential here. But as I said, like it needs some fine tuning. It's really hard to recommend this phone to everybody right now. If you're a little bit further ahead on that, you know, adoption curve, or you kind of like the bleeding edge, this is absolutely for you. If you kind of want that just standard but high-end smartphone experience, the Pixel 6 is coming up, iPhone's coming up. If you really, really like Samsung, the S21 from earlier this year is solid, but if you don't need a phone right now, you know, the S22 is also around the corner. So that's good. I'm going to say that, to wrap up, there's a lot of interesting technology coming around the corner. I mean, this just dropped. We have the iPhone coming up. We have the Pixel coming up. We might have new MacBook Pros coming up. Also, down the future, I will be using this kind of as like a daily driver. So, we'll see how the experience improves over time. But that's it for now. I really enjoyed making this. Hope you enjoyed watching this. So, see you in the next one.